What's up, tired mamas? It's Melissa here with the Cradle Coach, and we're talking 3 to 2 nap transitions. We know naps are already exhausting, but let's make sure your transition is easy and on point with your child's sleep. Before we move along, subscribe below and like this so we can keep you updated on all the sleep tips you need. We all know nap transitions are never easy. Naps in general are just challenging, but we find that the 3 to 2 nap transition can sometimes be the most challenging one for most parents because you just finally got your child to nap. Many times the first 6 months of life, you are seeing that they're developing this nap cycle of sleep. Now all of a sudden, you got them on a good schedule, 3 naps a day are occurring, and suddenly they start to refuse one of those naps. That is one of the biggest signs that they're ready to transition from 3 naps to 2 naps. When you start seeing that, don't disregard the naps altogether and change their schedule right away. We want to make sure they're really ready to make this transition happen. First and foremost, make sure you're giving them that same set schedule throughout the entire day for at least 2 weeks before you transition them from 3 naps to 2 naps. So often we see our clients start taking away the nap too early, and the child was just going through a regression and not necessarily a nap transition. So make sure you're really giving them a consistent schedule with a consistent technique before you remove it altogether. Another sign you might see is that they start waking up nice and early. And the earlier and earlier and earlier it starts to creep up. Before you make any changes, make sure you keep sleep training them in the morning. Then you might see they just aren't ready for bedtime, or they're just wide awake for that nap when they were going down easily before. Don't worry here. When we start seeing that a behavior is changing in the day where they're wide awake and they're happy, but they're happy throughout the entire nap that they should be sleeping, we want to make sure we're noting that, we're seeing that, but we're not yet making changes. Remember, give your child 2 weeks of consistent nap times and a consistent sleep training technique before you go ahead and remove the nap altogether. When it's time to remove the nap and you're seeing no matter what, the 2 weeks your child is still showing you these signs, then go ahead and remove the last nap of the day. What we're gonna do here, usually that last nap of the day is a pretty quick nap. We call it a cat nap. In that time frame, we're gonna remove that nap and we're gonna go ahead and look at their entire schedule of the day. Let's say your child wakes up at 7 a.m. Our first nap might occur now at 9 a.m. where it was occurring at 8:30. You're gonna go ahead and keep them nice and stimulated. You're gonna have a nice morning session with your child. Maybe some activity time, playing outside, going for a walk, just something that gets them going and enjoying that day. Then you're gonna go ahead and put them down as you normally would for that 9 a.m. nap. The 9 a.m. nap might last an hour. It might last an hour and a half, or maybe your child sleeps really well and a 2-hour session is needed. Whatever their norm is, stick with that. Then you'll keep them up for about 2.5 hours to 3 hours after they wake up from their first morning nap. You'll put them down again for their second nap. And now we wanna make sure that their second nap is a good one. Our focus is gonna be on the second nap because you have a long stretch before bedtime. So you're gonna go ahead and really focus sleep training on your second nap of the day. Once you do that and you keep working your technique out until they connect the dots and connect their cycles of sleep, then you're gonna go ahead and typically keep them up between 3.5 to 4 hours before bedtime. If you have to move bedtime up, completely okay. You might have to move bedtime up for up to a month, and that's normal. So don't worry if all of a sudden your schedule looks a little different than it did before. It will work itself out if you stay consistent with the proper times and the proper technique. The 3 to 2 nap transition might take up to a month. So give yourself grace, give your child grace, and know that every day might look a little different here and there. If you have to give your child 3 naps because they just can't make it on 2 naps a day, that's completely okay. But if they can make it and you're gonna keep them up and keep them entertained and keep them active, then do that. Make sure you get them down at the right time, continue your normal nap time routine and your bedtime routine, and continue to put them down as best awake as you possibly can. Stay the course, mamas. We know you can do this. Although this transition feels like complete change up on your schedule, it is amazing. You're gonna love it once everyone connects the dots easily. We hope you love these sleep training techniques and sleep tips for your child. So go ahead and like our post below, comment, and or you can follow us at thecradlecoach.com. We wish you nothing but the sweetest dreams.